And good afternoon to you, ladies and gentlemen, on a wonderful sunny Bermuda afternoon. We're here at the Bernard Park in Pembroke, Bermuda, just inside the capital of Hamilton. And we've got two teams about to actually go to battle. As you can see, one's dressed in red and the other one's dressed in blue. The team in red is at home, and they are the North Village Rams. And the other team is traveled all the way from the east, St. George's Colts in blue, blue and blue, light blue and dark blue. The starting lineup for the teams are as follows. In goal for North Village Rams, Troy Hall Jr. Number 5, Tyrell Burgess. Number 15, Jerome Bailey. Number 17, Keishan Bean. Number 4, Jonathan Bryars. Number 8, Dimitri Daniels. Koshan Durant, don't have a number for him as yet. Takiai Walker has number 85 on. Number 99 is Pierre Smith. Player coach, Ralph B, number 7. Patrick Castle, number 14. And on the bench for their team also is Kyler Knight, number 16. Number 13, Juan Smith. And Deshaun Dillis, number 18. The coach for the Ralph B is for North Village, and the assistant coach is Cal Dill. For St. George's Colts, we have in goal Zico Burgess. Number 12, Jordan Darrell. Number 3, Jeru Hayward. Number 19, Damon Darrell. Number 4, Ernest Signor. Number 2, David Signor, his brother. Number 5, Philip Anderson. Number 10, Mackay Simmons. Number 21, Romiko Smith. And number 11, Gerazino Burgess. And number 22, Contai Burton. On the bench for the St. George's Colts is number 14, Mitchell Tucker. Number 17, Chemo Bean. Number 16, Gregory Wade. Number 6, Trey Govea. Number 26, Nakai Pierman. And number 13, Justin Denbrook. The teams have assembled in the center of the park. We've got Sandra, who's the referee, and we've got Raul on the far right side of the field. He's got his hand up right now, and I don't see where the other... Oh, here he is. Sanford is down on the far right of here. And the ball's off, flighted to the right here, and Village start with the attack. And there's a collision already, ladies and gentlemen. Castle, number 14, and number 11. Ball bounced free. And Gerazino Bert Bassett. And now the goalkeeper has got the ball, Zico Burgess. And a wonderful eye boot, just making the middle of the park, 40 feet in the air. Player sky. And there's another set of players to go up, and Keishan Bean has gotten this ball under control, and he plays the ball out to number 13, Jerome Bailey. And Jerome Bailey tries to slip the ball down the left-hand side of the field, and it's cut out. Oh, wait a minute. Jerome moves forward and was fouled. And there's the first free kick. And we've got Takiai, who's on this ball. Walker on the far left-hand side of the field. Players are queuing up at the 18-yard. Ball spun inside there, and up comes the keeper. He tries to push, glances off ahead, and this is going to be a shot by Bean. He swirls the ball, and it didn't. Flag did not go up. Did not go up, and it was almost a possibility of the scoring within the first 60 seconds of this match. Ralph Bean playing as a center back. And Castle tries to go on the side, and it's met. And Pierre knocks the ball back. Oh, and the ball bunks up at the last minute on number 8, Dimitri Daniels. And fortunately, it goes over to Bailey. Bailey slides it into the slot, and it comes over. And Bailey continues on. It's going to be a foot race to the baseline. And Bailey's looking to get that battle, and he's forced the first corner on the St. George's Colts. And let's see exactly whether or not North Village will draw first blood here. It's going to be an in-swinging corner. Takiai Walker's over there again with these free kicks. And here he goes. Wonderful place. Up. The keeper didn't move, ladies and gentlemen. It was in his area of 6 yards. Chose not to come. And Bean punches this ball to the left-hand side. It will go, no, over to Takiat Walker. I thought it was going out. Goes back to Bailey. Bailey goes back to Bean in the center back position. Ralph Bean will look to push this ball over the top, and he does. It drives it straight down the center. It's a running race, and it bounces cleanly to the keeper. The keeper was being aggressive at that time. Top of his box. Cut that ball out. A passing lane by St. George's Colts resulted in Jerome Bailey picking that up. Takiat Walker's now on this, and goes back to Bailey. Bailey's looking. He's going to be pressed. He gets his pass off, but it didn't get to the intended target, and St. George's take over. Ball slid down the far side of the field. Ralph Bean goes across and cuts this out. And the ball is in the possession of the St. George's Colts as they begin to attack the final third of the North Village Rams. The ball's thrown down the line, received by and knocked off of Jerome Bailey into touch, and they'll get another 20 yards, and they're into the final third, ladies and gentlemen, with this throw. And here comes the throw. Thrown into the Colts, and it's cleared by St. George's in the middle of the park, and up steps the forward. And it's St. George's will get their first shot off, and it's cleanly collected by Troy Hall Jr. An attempt to work the ball out between number 14, Patrick Castle, and number 8 didn't quite work out. Dimitri Daniels didn't quite work out, and St. George's take over on the other side of the field, attacking the. And it's a pivot and turn, and an attempt to swivel the ball in, and it's passed out cleanly. Number 13 will try to clear the lines, and it didn't quite do that. And St. George's has it back, and another shot coming in, and the ball dribbles wide of Troy Hall Jr., and he'll get his first goal kick. He places the ball, dresses back. Up he comes. There he goes, high, nicely onto the far right hand side of the field. And it's a wonderful up by the left back of St. George's Colts, knocking the ball into touch. Ralph Bean calls for the ball, passes it back to Castle. Castle attempts to go inside. The ball, number 8 tries to go on. He's won it, but he's being chased and knocked off the ball. And Sandra called back the initial foul on number 8, Dimitri Daniels. Ralph Bean steps up to start the play. Goes to the left, over to Bailey. Bailey picks up the ball, advances the ball over the halfway line, slides into the passing lane to Jonathan Bryars. Bryars looks to get the ball. Daniels looks to go into another passing lane, and it goes too far down to the goalkeeper, Zico Burgess, who cleanly collects and is looking. Tempted to throw, thought the better of it. Now he drives the ball high and long. Wonderful kick, and up will step Tyrell Burgess, who knocks it down temporarily, but into the... And then he gets the ball back. Passes it out to Patrick, and Patrick attempts, an attempt athletically by number 13 to bring the ball under control. Didn't quite work out. Long throw by St. George's Colts, knocked inside, and Bryars cleanly collects the ball, and he's looking. He's taking a look around. He's going to go into the passing lane, and he struck number 13, who attempted to pass it back to him, and Colts have received the benefit of this, and he looks to go through, and Burgess cut this out temporarily, and has one control of the ball, and Castle's looking to play this down, and he'll go over the top, and he does. 30 yards, and Colts get underneath this with a clean header. Keishan Bean has been robbed by number 10, who attempts to go past Dimitri, and Dimitri helps out Bean, and Bean then goes back to Ralph Bean, and now it's through to Dimitri, and Dimitri goes over the top, and the ball's going to go into touch as a result. Ball thrown in by Colts. Midfielder comes down to receive it, number 2, and he's yanked down. Oh my. Pierre Smith's on the dribble. As a result, cutout and an attempt to break through by Rams. Doesn't work out. And Bailey tries, and he does get the better of his man, and the ball goes into touch in his favor. He throws the ball in quickly to Briars. Briars knocks the ball back to the thrower. Baylor's looking to go back, and he does so, and he goes back to Burgess. Burgess sweeps into Bean. Bean's in the center of the park now, coming forward. Keyshawn Bean comes down to the center circle, knocks it out, goes out to Castle on the right. Then it goes back to Ralph Bean. Swept across again to the center back Burgess, and it opening up the field at the back there. Now rolls the ball into Briars. Briars goes into Keyshawn Bean, and Bean will look to go across to the field to Burgess. Burgess is looking to play with Bean. Goes out to Barry Bailey, though. Bean goes over to get the ball. Bailey goes into the passing lane and found Briars. Briars cuts the ball in, slides it into a running position where Pierre Smith was bodied off the ball by the defender of St. George's Colts. And into the hands of the goalkeeper, and the keeper goes again 40 yards into the air. It's high. Ralph Bean gets underneath of it. Ball still there. Number 13 skies for, and then Dimitri Daniels knocks it forward, and Takiai Walker will bring this into possession, and he's knocked off the ball, and ball then flicked over the top and back down to Ralph Bean deep into the center back position. He's going to try to go long, and he does, 30 yards into the air, and is defended by St. George's Colts in possession of them. Ball slid down to the passing lane on the left-hand side, slid inside, and Briars retrieves and passes it to Ralph Bean. Bean surveying the park. He knocks it back out to Keyshawn Bean, and Keyshawn Bean rolls the ball to number 13, and it's knocked up. Briars then gets the ball, goes back to Keyshawn Bean. He gets slightly robbed, and then completely robbed by number 22. The ball's now in the possession of Colts, and the ball slipped through, and Ralph Bean steps up from his center back position and cleans that up. He's going to look to go long, and he does go long to Takiai Walker. It takes one bounce. Walker's underneath this. He's looking and surveying the park. He goes back. Oh, unfortunately, too far. And St. George's Colts are now in possession. It's a passing lane and a running situation. And Castle's going to have to do good with this. And he's run off the ball. And Colts are deep into the side. And number 12 steps up to just outside the 18. And Keyshawn Bean, tracking back, has been able to dispossess. And he now starts off number 13 down the right-hand side. And he's looking up. And, oh, it's a wonderful play, a wonderful track back by number 12 of St. George's Colts, and that's Jordan Darrow. And number 13 gets the benefit of it, goes into Pierce, and Briars knocks it forward, but the center back knocks it out just slightly, and number 13 is underneath this. He goes inside to Takiai Walker. Walker's bothered. Ball squirts out to Bailey. Bailey goes down the left-hand side. He's trying to go around his man, doesn't get the benefit of it, and St. George's Colts are on the run again. It's going to be a cutback, yes, and a pass into the passing lane. Find the midfield, outside to the right-hand side, and who steps up but Castle. Castle cuts that particular passing construction out, and it looks like the keeper is asking no, and there we are. Center backs are now working well in St. George's Colts, and they're going to try to go over the top, but Castle's in the passing lane for that, and it's knocked on. Pierre Smith has got this, and there is a foul ruled by referee Sandra, and it's in the favor of St. George's Colts. Number 3 steps up to take this, and that's Jeru Haywood, a center back. And he's looking to ask his players to go forward, and he's looking to probably put the ball into the mix, as we say, into the center of the park. They're lining up in the D of the, and he does. He drives it into strength, and the ball glances off of the head of Briars, and there's a shot! Whoa, ladies and gentlemen. A turn and a volley, but the whistle went, and there was a infringement there. And it was an offside, and Ralph Bean is called for the ball, and it's just there outside the 18-yard box, and the referee will allow this to move forward. And Briars moves down to get the pass from Ralph Bean, and Ralph gets it back, and they go out to Burgess on the left-hand side, and it goes back into Bean just on the top of the 18, and Bean's going to go back out to Burgess. He'll ask him to advance, but Burgess chooses to drive, and he's found Pierre Smith, and he goes back to Burgess, and they've gained 10 yards. And they're going to go over the top with the drive, and Takiai Walker's on the run, and there's a head cleanly to the keeper, Zico Burgess, and he cleanly collects after just misfooting there as he tried to step forward. And number 3, Jeru Haywood, moves the ball out to number 12, and Haywood's pass, and it's in the possession of St. George's Colts. And number 12 is going to pick this up to throw, and that's Jordan Darrow. And Gerald has passed the ball off to Drew Haywood, and Drew Haywood's going to take this throw. And here he goes, long throw down the side, long throw, 30 yards. And he's beaten Castle. Bean has asked for Castle to step off, and the ball, and Bean attempted to stand and kick and lost its footing and had to just play it safely into touch. But they're on the top, St. George's Culture on the top of the defensive third of Village, and a wonderful undercutting run and a flick over into the area, and up comes Troy Hole Jr., who cleanly collects, makes sure that there was nothing more going to happen as a result of that particular attack. And the ball's thrown at the outside, other side to left side to Bailey, and Bailey will go into the passing lane to Pierre. Pierre drops the ball back to Burgess, and Burgess drops the ball to Bailey. And oh my, and it almost resulted in a dispossession. And they're hustling, ladies and gentlemen. They have found. And the ball has been turned over, momentary possession by St. George's Colts, and went back to, and Takiai Walker's on this ball, and it's tucked in now, and there's a little battle going on in the middle of the park, as it should be, and Bailey goes back to Keyshawn Bean, and they're looking to pass, and a short pass, and this is back, oh my, and they've gotten possession, and they're breaking, swept in, oh, a little too high, but the right back is moved up, right midfielder's moved up to put pressure, and Briars is on it. Briars is on the ball. He goes back to Castle. Castle's looking to go in the passing lane. It's foul number 13. A good spin. Keyshawn Bean looks to go onto the right-hand side. Found Briars. Flag stays down. Briars is eliminated with his man. He's going to look to pass. He sweeps it in. He's found Dimitri, and Dimitri got a glancing header, very tame, and just caught by keeper. And a quick attempt to elude Burgess was cut out, and now Briars is back, who sweeps it back to Ralph Bean, and Ralph Bean will look to go to Bailey, and Bailey goes over the top into the middle of the park to Keyshawn Bean. Ball bounces clear for Pierre. There's an opportunity. It's knocked on to Bean. Bean's going to move forward, and it's blocked out. And the ball's going to go all the way back to Troy Hole Jr., who's asked for the ball, and the ball's knocked down for Ralph Bean, who was retreating as well, and he's got his options. He's got his options. Castle's on the right, goes over this first man, goes to number 13, and number 13 moves the ball, and it's going to go back inside to Dimitri. Dimitri sweeps the ball to the left, and will go over to Bailey. Bailey looks to possibly go back to Burgess, and that's a wonderful construct here, and Burgess will now be driven forward by an attempt, and he's found Takiai Walker on the left-hand side. Beautiful passing lane, swerved the ball around the defense, and now Dimitri's up on the ball. He's going to move the ball inside. He's looking for a shot. No, he's looking for the pass. He's found number 13, and unfortunately, number 13 was sitting offside all alone, unfortunately, and the flag went up. Daniels. Goalkeeper Zico steps up. He drives the ball into the passing lane. Castle goes up and heads, and Zico Burgess gets his head to it and knocks it out into touch. Number 12 has received the ball. Jordan Darrow goes down the line, and number 13 attempts to athletically go across and knot it out, but there's a body, and yes, there was contact made by number 11, Gerazino Burgess, or Bassett. And referee Sandra chose to call the ball back in favor of the North Village Rams. Short pass. They should look to possess. Yes, they do. And Castle, Bean is going to Castle. Castle goes back to Bean. Ralph Bean looks to survey the field. He looks to go through, and he's dribbling. He's going to slide the ball to, and he's back to Bean. Bean's now gained 10 yards, and he's going to go over to Takiai, and it's defended by St. George's. And then further cleared, and Burgess is underneath this, who just one times it back through, looking to find a passing lane. Takiai Walker's on the ball. He's going to take his man. Cuts to the right. Floats it over to number 13. And the ball's been allowed to just run into touch. And St. George's have the throw to get out of their defensive third. It's thrown inside. allowed to roll across the body, and an attempt to dribble through. And Dimitri cuts the ball back to Bryars, and Bryars is going to push the ball onto Keyshawn Bean. Keyshawn Bean has found Castle on the far right-hand side. Castle's looking, goes into, and unfortunately that inside-outside didn't quite work out. They were looking for number 13, 10 to 15 yards down the field, who had moved into position, but the pass was not as accurate as it should be. So the ball goes into touch, and there's a throw for the St. George's Colts. They're going to try to lock them in here. Number 11 moves forward. Oh, unfortunately, he misjudged it, and then, unfortunately, number 13 comes forward, and this advantages number 11, Jairzinho Burgess, or Bassett. And we're 15 minutes into this particular game, and there's no score. The game's being played at a fairly even pace, but both teams are probing, trying to find out where the weaknesses are. As you can see it, right now, Village has not been able to find any specific weakness in the St. George's scenario. And the ball was in the air for a while, glanced back off of Burgess, and Bean chose to clear the ball. Ralph Bean is playing center back, and the goalkeeper's going to have to scamper. And he does, and he saves the ball. He's going to come back into his box, and then he cleanly picks that up. And credit Zico Burgess for the athleticism of that particular move. The head back to him was not as clean as it should have been. Under duress was number 3, Jeru Haywood. Ball's in the center of the park. Burgess cleanly gets underneath of it. And number 13, and it's... The ball's knocked into a passing lane, but no one's there. And the ball runs cleanly through to Troy Hall Jr., who passes the ball to Ralph Bean, who's looking to find another pass, and he's found that pass in Jerome Bailey. Jerome Bailey moves to the left-hand side, goes high for a passing lane. And the ball's now in Zico Burgess' hands, the St. George's Colts goalkeeper. As he looks and surveys the field, drives the ball high, chose not to go as high as he did before, and did a little bit more velocity and distance behind that one. And the ball, oh, wonderful move by Bryars. And Bryars inadvertently didn't get the best wood underneath of it, and it's cut out. And ooh, and Burgess is going to have to go along with this one, and he does. And the ball's all the way back into the penalty area.
They ain't going to jump around. No ball near you after that. You hear me? It's science, too. I'm serious. I'm going up there.
Ball struck by the goalkeeper of St. George's Colts all the way down. And oh, nice knock in. Oh, and unfortunately he fell. Oh, jeez, it's a kick. Boy.
That should be a bomb ball, you know.
That should be good. Oh,
that should be a bomb ball, man. See, because the guy fell on the ball. But he was laying the ball behind, and the guy came kick the ball at him. Like you can't kick it through. The ball, he's already there, but the ball just forget it. So then he kicked, stopped the game, bomb ball. That's all.
St. George's Colts have a free kick. 22 yards out. This is the first opportunity that they have that is going to be really on goal, that's going to test Troy Hall. And Troy Hall has lined up his wall. He's got the sun in his eyes. And here comes the kick. It beats the wall, ladies and gentlemen. And no one got on the end of it. It was with velocity. And unfortunately, even though there was movement there, no one made contact to direct it back towards the goal. And as a result, the ball went straight over the touch line. And Troy Hall will start this game again with the goal kick.
Why aren't you on the field? Oh, I forgot. I'm sorry. You like that?
And the player Sky, and as a result, ooh, that studs up. Whoa. And the ball swept away by Zico Burgess.
Huckles around. Don't hurt his feelings.
And the ball was knocked out into touch by number 4, Ernest Signor, trying to find his right winger. Ball's thrown back on the Village side. Burgess goes to his keeper, and Troy Hall has options on the right-hand side with Castle, but he's going to go down the field, driving it into the park. Found Keyshawn Bean, and number 13 also has gotten this ball for Village, and he flicks it around too as he came. And he's on the dribble. He's going to try to go over to Takiai Walker. He does on a one bounce. Walker brings it down. He's drawn Ernest Signor. Signor is looking to ball. Oh, and wonderfully, and there's going to be a drive, and credit the help of number 11, Jairzinho No, not 11, number 13, I think it is. Is it 13? Can't tell. I don't know who it was. And number 11, Bassett, is heading the ball clear up to the striker, and the ball eludes Castle. He has one to beat. And Bean has found. And unfortunately, the same thing. Castle smothered the ball.
Come on, man, let these guys play, man. That's why really is good. What's that for?
And as a result, referee Sandra has chosen to rule in favor of the St. George's Colts, and up steps number 12 of St. George's Colts to start this particular free kick. It's about 20 yards above the middle of the park, and this is an opportunity. Definitely players have retreated back to the 18-yard, and it's going to be a left-footed restart and inside, and there's some players moving, and there's the flags going up, ladies and gentlemen, on the far side of the field, and referee assistant Raul has ruled an offside scenario has taken place. And Troy Hall Jr. sweeps the ball out there to Castle, number 14 of the North Village Rams. And Rams going to go down to number 13, and there's an attempt to flick behind, cut out astutely by number 12, Jordan Darrow of St. George's Colts. Ball's thrown into Pierce Smith. He's found Briars. Briars going to go over the top, down to number 13, and there's a running play. Bassett's on this as well with number 13, and 13 has still got possession. He's going to take him baseline, and unfortunately the touch was too heavy. It's gone over the touchline and into the possession of St. George's Colts with a goal kick. Ball will be restarted with the goalkeeper Burgess, Zico Burgess.
He ain't working tomorrow. Are you stupid for now? He's still gonna be in the hospital tomorrow.
Drove by the keep and knocked on by number 11 in the possession of Colts. Number 10 will move it around, and it's slided into number 21. He should go to the other side. Took too long. Tackled by Takiel Walker, and North Village Rams will sweep this ball here and found number 13. Number 13 is on this, and he's tracked back and very nicely cleared. Those two work in tandem, and there's a nice header knocking it forward, and Burgess is going to have to move forward. Still in the possession of St. George's Colts and being brought under control by Colts on the far right-hand side. Slid down the touchline, and Burgess sweeps the ball away temporarily, and then he looks to drive the ball away. Has found his man Pierre Smith. Pierre chested down, but he bubbled up on him, and St. George's Colts are in possession. And this is a running play by number 2, and unfortunately passes directly to Burgess, and Burgess finds number 13. Briars found number 13. The ball is flicked onto Pierre, and there's going to be number 5 on this, and he's won the ball cleanly off of Pierre, and Pierre will pass the ball out. I mean, up here, number 12 has got this ball, and a wonderful passing thing, and cut out by Ralph Bean, and whoa, not swept away cleanly or with authority, but enough. And Burgess is on, and Keishan Bean, he's looking to hold him off. He does so, sweeps it back, and as a result,
He was supposed to got your boy right there.
and Castle looks to place this ball, and he's going to look to start this. Number 14 of the North Village Rams goes long, goes high. It's up there, and up comes number 13, and that's a foul and a strike. And he's going to get a warning, number 13, from the referee about that, and the card is given.
Don't pull out the wrong pocket down there.
I don't know.
I saw somebody on do that. What was it?
Oh yeah, Quam Smith, but he's not ticked. Oh, sorry. And referee Sandra has started the match, and they're going to attack Castle's side. Patrick Castle is looking, and number 12 has swept the ball in. Number 10's on this ball!
Say so.
And there's going to be another clash, and Bean has got the better of this. Up moves Ernest Signor, and he's lost out. And Keishan Bean feeds Patrick Smith, and he swept the ball inside, and Pierre Smith's got this. He's going to try to settle it down. He's flicked it to Takai Walker, but it came off a body and it's knocked inside. And a turn takes place, and number 11 slides it across to number 10. And unfortunately, number 10, he's been robbed by Burgess. And Burgess looks to pass to Dimitri, and Dimitri overruns it. And St. George's Colts will get the benefit of pushing this ball into touch, where they'll get the chance to regroup from that particular counterattack that was taking place. And Briars is on this in the middle of the park, and he sweeps the ball into Keyshawn Bean. Keyshawn Bean has lots of time and space to turn. He goes over the top, but is well read by Hayward, and Hayward punches this ball out. And being bodied by Castle, and Castle's, has gotten the benefit, and he's around his man, number 14, got the ball back, swept in there, and underneath, Ernest Ignore was able to get that, and unfortunately, it didn't quite go to anyone on the team, and Colts are now on the break, and Bryce is going to step and drive this out. And there's been a switch made internally inside the formation in terms of personnel for St. George's for the North Village Rams. It looks like they push Burgess forward and push Briars back into the center back position. They're going to use the skill of and Smith, and Bean is staying on the right hand side in the center back position, and he goes inside, found Keyshawn Bean. Keyshawn Bean looks to go to number 13, Smith. Smith slides it in, and oh my, he's having a stinker right now. He's not passing the ball very accurately, and they're pressuring. And unfortunately, Bean, attempting to pressure, just fell over.
I told him to tell her straight up.
And Burgess has now resumed his center back, left center back position. The ball goes over the top. Ralph Bean is looking to hump this ball out, and he does, and it's found Keyshawn Bean in the middle of the park. Briars gets the ball back, and there's a ball going to be pushed back to Keyshawn, and Keyshawn's looking to potentially, and Briars is going to get this, and now Briars is looking, he's sliced the ball around, and well defended by number 12, and the ball is now with number 2. Ball's over the top, a wonderful inside out play, and unfortunately, the flag is going up for St. George's Colts, and Raul, the referee assistant, spotted an infringement, and the ball is now being placed at the 21-yard line of the and in the possession of the North Village Rams. And Ralph Bean starts it by going to the left to Jerome Bailey. Jerome Bailey finds Dimitri, and Dimitri is going to go to Keyshawn Bean in the center of the park, and Bean's going to go forward to number 13, to Smith, and there's a knockdown, and into possession of St. George's Colts. Number 11 moves the ball into the park, slides it into the passing lane, and there's no one to pass to. And it's knocked to number 12, and Castle bodies the ball over the line in favor of the St. George's Colts. Number 12 will pick up this ball for the throw, and Darrell has found his player. And number 10 attempts to get on this, lost out, and they're going over the top to Pierre Smith. And number 5 is on this, and he's going to have to go back to his goalkeeper, and he does so to Burgess. And Zico sweeps the ball out here to number Hayward, number 3. And Hayward's going inside in the center of the park to number 2, and the ball goes back to Hayward to number 3. And Hayward's looking, and he goes over to number 12, and 12 goes down the side, and there's an attempt to flicker on, and Hayward moved forward, very astute. He should move the ball forward to number 10, and he's looking for a give and go and come back, but he's had to go chase his pass, and the pass wasn't very good in the first place, so he had to go chase his pass. Castle's on the ball, goes to Keyshawn Bean. Keyshawn is now found Smith. Smith's in the middle of the park, going to look to push the ball forward, and he was looking for Pierre to run, and that wasn't quite the way Pierre was looking for the ball. So number 21's got the ball for St. George's Colts. He's got the better of the tackle. Flick through. Oh! Ralph Bean astutely cut that out with his reflexes. And the ball's high in the air. Takai Walker's bodied a player to the ground, and as a result has been adjudged to have fouled him. And the ball will go back into the possession of the St. George's Colts, of which Zico Burgess, the goalkeeper, is going to position and restart this particular match. Just outside the 18 at around the 23-yard mark. And we're at the 30th minute of this particular half. No score at the Bernard Park Stadium, home of the North Village Rams. Keyshawn Bean moves back. Dimitri Daniels is looking to collect this ball. He's found the... and he's trying to go, oh, 2 attempts have blasted the ball in the favor of St. George's Colts, and they're coming underneath. And a drive by Burgess spinning off the side of his foot. It spun away from the St. George's player, and now Castle's got this ball moving, looking down the right-hand side. Goes back to Ralph Bean, who will probably pass it back to him. And it flicked through, and so on. And a wonderful sliding tackle by number 12. Jordan Darrow, a no-nonsense player, but the ball's being thrown in. And Castle's on this, and he's going to go across the middle of the park to number 10. And the pass was right to number 10 of St. George's, and a slip and a slide, and St. George's still retaining possession. Number 22 has got the benefit of this. He tries to go back. Takiai Walker is going to be involved in this in a minute, and the ball swept into the park with a spinning play, and to Burgess, who found Bryars in the passing lane vertically, and then Bryars has found Takiai Walker on the left-hand side. He's got his man to beat, and up steps Hayward, who punches the ball back out to Ernest Signor, and Signor's away. And Signor's going to go, and Bailey put himself in a position to make a tackle and knock the ball into touch. Wonderful position by Jerome Bailey to cut that particular pass out. Ball's thrown down, and the ball's knocked on by a glancing foot. Number 22 trying to find someone in the middle of the park, and up steps number 21, and he tries to drive straight away. And it spins in the direction of goal and all the way to the goalkeeper, Troy Hall Jr. He's going to use his box. Sun's definitely a factor. Using his gloves, trying to find where his man are positioned. He finally picks the ball up, and he's going to drive the ball down the field, high to the right-hand side, and into touch, though, with a one-bounce scenario off the side of his foot. Ball's thrown down, and that's a foul. Castle on number 11 of St. George's, Geraldino Bassett. And this is just on the touchline here, just in front of me. And Hayward steps up, and he's going to start this particular game in favor of his team, St. George's Colts, with a long kick into the box. He steps it off. He's surveying the field. Players are lining up at the 18. And a driven ball met by Castle. And there's going to be a shot by number 10, and running plays towards the Rams goal, but Troy Hall was astute to that, and he came out and collected it. Gave a long kick to Takiai Walker, who passed the ball off to Bean, and Bean's gone on to Smith, and Smith's first touch is not doing him very well. He's got to get better at that, and he's robbed by number 21, and the ball goes into number 10, and it's knocked inside the middle of the park, and over the top. Inside outside player number 12 is on this, and he's drawn 2, and a lunging tackle by Smith. Number 10 is on this, and he's going to go back to number 2, and they're looking. He's going to look to go over the top, and he does so. And this is a very interesting ball, ladies and gentlemen. And it's a shot, and a stab, and wonderfully Troy Hall came forward and got the ball knocked onto his body. And it results in a corner kick, the first corner kick for St. George's Colts, as they attack the goal on the eastern side of this stadium, Bernard Park. And we're going to see whether or not St. George's Colts can draw first blood in this game as the players line up in positions man-to-man in the penalty area. Ball's about to be kicked. It's taken short.
I'm serious.
And a glancing header. And a drive is saved. And forward comes the keeper, who finally gets in his hands. And Troy Hall Jr. drives the ball down. And
Come on. Here's 12. Here's Kilo.
St. George's Colts are taking over possession. They're attacking. Oh, nice turn. And he's put in. And he should follow up. And he does. And it's another. And it's a shot. And Bean comes across and knocks the ball into touch. Bean, you must credit that effort. He didn't give up on the fact that he was behind the play. He came across. As the shot was taken, it hit him on the leg and was able to be taken away from danger, and then he finally was able to spin around and clear the ball into touch, but the ball goes to St. George's Colts as a throw. It's flicked and baseline is delivered, and there's an opportunity again, and number 2 steps up, and the ball is going to spin in. Is it? And it's over the line there on the right-hand side, and it will be a goal kick for the North Village Rams. And the game will resume momentarily, ladies and gentlemen, with a goal kick from Troy Hall Jr. He steps up, drives the ball in the middle of the park with wonderful authority and good length. Up goes Smith. Smith gets the ball off his shoulder, but he has to go back and get it. And he tries to flick the ball. Dimitri Daniels will look to get it, and he gets it around, and Byers pumps the ball back to him and receives it back. And momentarily, it's knocked forward, and you got a 3-on-2. Bodied out. Daniels was trying to get tackled, and number 21 has cut the ball back, and Castle was the better man of that. Ball's flicked inside to Bean. Keyshawn Bean's on this. He goes back to... Oh, and my. Castle didn't get anything on that in terms of accuracy, and the ball goes straight into touch. Number 12 will throw this ball down. He's found his man. Goes inside. Ball goes up in the air. Dimitri goes across. And he's fighting there in the middle of the park. 2 midfielder players are trying to get the better of what was going on there, and then St. George's Colts was ruled to have handed the ball. And as a result, Daniels, the ball was not put in the right place for the kick, and referee Sandra has chosen to bring the ball all the way back. And Ralph Bean puts his ball down. He spots it, and it's right on the center, on the D, and puts the ball wonderfully. And Taki Walker's chesting it into the penalty area. He's got it now on it. They got to be careful. His ball slipped in, and Hayward punches the ball to the far side of the field on the right-hand side. Number 3 standing his ground and now organizing his defense. A throw will take place in favor of Rams, and the ball's thrown into the box. Player Sky. Hayward's going to... Oh, my. And an attempt on goal, definitely. And then a final clearance. And this ball is back with Ralph Bean, and he's just going to look to play the ball, and an advancing St. George's Colts player was able to knock it into place, or knock it into touch, number 22. And Dimitri has punched the ball back now to Ralph Bean, the thrower. And Ralph Bean's going to go over the top. He slides the ball down to Taki Walker. High, and number 12, Darryl is there, and Taki Walker is definitely gonna be testing Darryl, but Darryl has been equal to the task, and no nonsense. He's beautifully cut out. Darryl stepped in front of a move of Taki Walker and made sure the ball rolled cleanly over. And the ball will be spotted for an infraction on Darryl. And the ball struck out cleanly, and Ralph Bean knocks the ball down, and the ball is allowed to run free, and then it's finally slipped into the middle of the park. Number 2 gets on this for St. George's Colts, being bothered by Byers. Byers got position. Dimitri slips the ball back to Ralph Bean, and Bean's going to go over the top out there to Pierre Smith, and there's a one-on-one. Player Sky, and there is Ernest Senior, who knocks that ball into touch. Number 4. Burgess has been throwing the ball. He moves the ball forward, and he's going to look to dribble, and he flicks the ball back to Byers. Byers is looking to find Dimitri. Dimitri is in the middle of the park. He's looking for a passing lane. He found one in Bailey. Bailey looks to go inside. Dribbling, slips the ball into a front of the bunch of defenders, and St. George's Colts was about to clear, but Burgess, number 5 for North Village Rams, was judged to have been knocked to the ground by a defender. and therefore there is a kick dead center at 30 yards. 30 yards outside of the St. George's Colts goal line. Goalkeeper Burgess has lined up his wall.
That's his cousin and he cooked gold though, Herman.
Keyshawn Bean is over top of this.
You know that, right? That's his cousin. That's true.
And he steps up. He's looking to go and beat this wall, possibly. Up and down, the ball must go. It goes all straight through, ladies and gentlemen, to the side of the goal. Keeper didn't have anything to do but to make sure that he followed the ball. And as a result, that attempt is over. And Zico Burgess will find his 6-yard box to start this match. And we're now probably close to the end. And 40th minute, ladies and gentlemen, the 40th minute, and the ball's knocked out there, and Ernest Signor was trying to get underneath of it, and the ball beat him and went into touch. But it's in the middle of the park where North Village Rams will start the game, and Bryars is looking, and he's looking after being thrown the ball, and Ernest Signor had the wonderful position, and St. George's Colts will slide the ball in the middle of the park, and ran free, and Bean's going to be pressured by number 11. And he's finally found Bailey, and Bailey looks to slip the ball around, and it's knocked off of the St. George's Colts player, and they will retain possession, North Village Rams. Bailey looks to throw the ball down the sideline. Found Takiai Walker. Takiai Walker eludes one man, slides it back to Bailey. Bailey looks to go inside to Bryars. Bryars is looking to slide the ball in the passing lane, of which advancing Keyshawn Bean is, and then covered by Ernest Signor and swept away. And Castle looks to keep this into play, punches it forward, but underneath comes St. George's Colts player, number 21 and number 13 of the North Village Rams, Quan Smith, knocks the ball into touch, and up steps number 12 that's Jordan Darrow of the St. George's Colts, who will take this ball for a throw in. Ball's thrown down long into one player. Number 21's on this, swept back to the thrower. Darrow's going to look to go forward, and he's beating one man. And steps up, and the ball is knocked into touch. And number 12, looks to throw, and he's found a man. And they still have possession. Darrow has it. He's going to sweep the ball across, and it's struck. And Smith was able to smother this. Takiai Walker's underneath of it. He's being bothered, and retreating back, inside out play, and it didn't quite work out. And Takiai Walker's on this. He knocks it into Keyshawn Bean, who's got a lot of time and space, but he's being closed very fast. But he's on the dribble, and he's now got Pierre Smith, and on an attempt to knock it behind, was thwarted. And Juan Smith defensively was able to put in the work and knock the ball into touch, where St. George's Colts will take possession. And Hayward throws the ball down the side, and up steps Castle, who punches the ball into touch. And there goes the halftime whistle, ladies and gentlemen, where referee Sandra has brought this particular half to a close, and the score at the half is 0-0 for both teams. And I'm sure they're going to go in and get refreshed. They're going to get some instruction, and they're going to come out to actually make a difference in this game, because both teams would like to walk away with a victory here, and the game is up for grabs. And for those of you here live, for those of you here on the radio, and those of you on the internet and around the world, this is the Bermuda Football Association Premier Division here in sunny Bermuda. And please join us when we come back. Back to you in the station.